Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
Remix.
Hi, folks. Bob Mannery here. You're listening to A2D Radio, real sports talk radio for the fans, by the fans, no agenda. These guys are the best in the business. Hashtag it. No notes.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in. Real Talk Friday here on A2D Radio. We'll address the robes in a minute. We'll address the comfort level in a minute. We got a lot to talk about, but every show we're brought to you by our doc, Make Him Yours. That's Dr. Paul Vidal, Specialized Physical Therapy, LLC, Burlington, Cherry Hill, Princeton locations. Find them on the web, specializedphysicaltherapy.com. Tom Arnaud and Ryan Barretto, Jake Friel. Crone will be joining us in a little bit from Disney. The family out there joining us. What's up, everybody? A little football Friday action. We got a big game on Sunday. We're going to dissect it. We got a ton to talk about the other night. NFL Week 10 predictions against the spread. We'll give you some games, a little walking around money for the people who need it. Biggest NFL surprises, disappointments. So that can be teams, players, etc., whatever you want there. Eagles second half over-unders. So some players, some numbers. We'll have a good time with that. Our main topic in hand, Eagles versus Giants preview. All right, we'll give you score predictions, players of the game, guys who need to step up, etc. And our poll question, we'll get into it in 1 second. Okay. I want to address the robes and the comfort level to the family. I want to take you back. Okay. We're in a little time machine and we're going back. And we're back in 2017. And we were rolling. I mean, we were the greatest show on grass, turf, wherever you wanted to put us. Carson Wentz was rolling. Carson Wentz tore his ACL in LA against the Rams. And we thought everything was over. So on Tuesday night on Birds of a Feather here on A2D Radio, now on Thursday nights, okay, I came on there with a rope on, live on air. And it was because of, I felt like you had 48 to 72 hours of grief because Carson got hurt. So I was grieving and not coming out of a rope. And that was my grieving process of losing the MVP, what would have been the MVP of the season. Okay? And we were stressed. We were disappointed. We were hurt. So it was depression set in, right? The robes on. So I'm taking the people back there. Also that night, the rope came off. The rope came off because something told me that we're going to win it when we don't expect to win it. And this is our curses end. And we'll end up winning a Super Bowl with our backup. Said the next night on AM and the PM. Not crowding myself. I'm just taking you guys back to something important in the history of A2D and the Philadelphia Eagles. And the importance was that we won something when we didn't expect to win it. So we're putting the robes back on at 3-4-1. An offense that hasn't been good enough. A lot of doom and gloom in what's been 2020. So in no way, shape, or form is this a relaxation robe up here, okay? This is a robe job all about hurt. We're hurt. We've all expected more this year. Now, with all the pieces coming back, did the robes come off tonight? We're going to find out. We're going to talk about it. One of the pieces ties right into our poll question. Brought to you by Ambuck Services, 20% off. Tell them the peeps from A2D sent you, right? All your gutter guards, gutter installations, 20% off. I mean, nobody's giving 20% off. Got a lot going on in this country. People are giving 20% off. You need gutters. It's been raining here like a son of a bitch. So, right, if you need them, 20% off. Tell Michael Ambrose and Ambuck Services, the boys from A2D sent you. Our poll question, Alshon Jeffrey will be a big factor on Sunday for the Eagles. Do you agree or disagree. Let us know. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch. That's where we're live. Everywhere you get your podcasts, we're there as well. Also, listen, we're on Instagram. We're going to get over there, streaming there somehow. We're going to get there for you, but we're everywhere. We are everywhere. Download, subscribe, like, follow, etc. Let's go. So this is why the robes are out. Because we are 3-4-1. And we haven't been the full team on offense that we've expected, player-wise and consistency-wise, right? So the robes are on out of some depression. But one of these guys that I still don't want to quit on, because I still think he can help us if he's on the field, is Alshon. Because every time he was on the field before he get hurt again, he was in the end zone. So I want to assume, and he looks good, right? He looks good, looks thin, right? Looks like in good shape, right? We get Miles back. We get Lane back. Important pieces, guys. Important pieces, right? Now you have your starting wide receivers as Fulgham, Alshon, and Jalen. Okay, I like that a lot better. And if you don't like that a lot better, then I can't help you. That's why the rope's going to come off tonight. That's why the rope's going to come off. All right, a little depression coming in. There's like 2017, but I got a feeling about something here. I got a little vibe. I got a little vibe of a turnaround. I got a little vibe of a great 8-game stretch from this football team. I got a little vibe of a shut up to the haters. I just got a vibe of it. Everything's been the opposite of what some of us expected. And people have got crushed in this city. Head coach, players, etc. I still believe there's a lot of resiliency with this football team in this locker room. And I want to take the robe off tonight. I want the people that help the robes come off. It's not a striptease. This isn't, we're not getting on poles. We're dressed underneath the robes. I'm just saying I want people to get the robes off of us tonight. The depression's going away for this football team. This football team still can be a good football team with everything coming back. Sean, shut the hell up, Sean. Shut the hell up. And look, Tor, Jake looks just like you tonight. I thought, is that Jake or Tor? Is that Jake or Tor down there? You know what I mean? All we're missing is a white horse pike. You know what I mean? Spells, shut the hell up. I don't care. He played last year and scored touchdowns in his few games. Did he not? Riddle me that. Did he not? Before he was hurt again. But did he not? Come on, Sean. And we have enough offensive weapons coming back that he doesn't have to beat him with a weapon. So to the poll question, this is why the robes are on. The robes are on because we're going back to 2017 for everybody just joining us when we were depressed. Okay? And we thought it was over. And we were grieving for 48, 72 hours. And then we ripped the robe off and said, you know what, this is how we win a Super Bowl. We win it with a backup. Watch. And guess what we went on to do? We predicted that here at A2D Radio. So we're going to take the robes off again and predict something else here. And a little playoff run. I'm not going to predict the Super Bowl. That's aggressive. But a little playoff run. Maybe an NFC title game. Maybe a little NFC title game. And everybody's going to be like, oh, where'd this come from? It's going to be Blow City around here. We need some Blow City in 2020. Can we get a little blow up? Can we get a little turbulence talk on a plane? You know what I mean? Can we get a little action? Oh, my God. So help us take the robe off. And Alshon, it's going to help me take my robe off here early. I'm going to put it back on because it's chill. But
it's really comfortable. I was going to ask you, do I have to take it off? Because I'm really comfortable right now.
Listen, you guys do you, boo-boos. You know what I mean? Like, you guys look great. You feel good. I feel warm as can be in this. So it might be something I pull out more often. But it hasn't.
Well, listen, I think we got last Friday we contacted Alex over at Philly Drinkers for the JJR Think Whiteside T-shirt. I feel like this week we got to send him a text being like, "Hey, A2D robes, A2D." I mean, I might be wearing it every show. I might be wearing an A2D robe.
Yeah, well, yeah, we need a robe, but we need we need something on the back. We either need like crumb of the day or some no notes on the back of the robe to really make the robe a little different. So it's just not we get a little plug on the rope. But yeah, I love it. Let's get ropes. Alshon Jeffrey will be a big factor on Sunday for the Eagles. Agree or disagree? Let us know, family. Chime in. Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Twitch. That's where we're live. Like we said, everywhere you get your podcast. We're there. Well, like, follow, subscribe. I'm not going to look at that right now. Download. We need triple dick ropes and no notes on the back. How about that? Triple dick ropes. I mean, triple. Yeah, whatever. Yep. Triple deck on the back of the robe and no notes. That's how you get your you know what. Okay, we're going to start shy away from them. Sean's feeling any team that comes out of the NFC East wins first round guaranteed, whether it's Eagles or Giants. How you like that? How you like that? Take 4 wins. Hold on. So you think, Sean, you still think the Giants are? You still think the Giants got a chance to win this division? Have you watched an offense that's averaged 18 points a game, Sean? You can talk to me about the resiliency of their defense. You can talk to me how their defense is good. I'll buy right in there with you. I think they're tough as nails over there. I like what they're doing on the defense side of the football. But don't talk to me about the offense side of the football, please. Okay? It's struggle city. Struggle city over there. So Alshon to the poll, right? I think he is going to be a big factor. Because even if he plays 50% of the snaps, right? Even if he plays 50% of the snaps, that's better than anything JJ's going to bring to the table. And say what you want, teams still got to say, oh, Alshon's coming back. Still teams have the game plan. So if I can roll Fulgham, Alshon, and Jalen out there, now my quarterback's got a catch radius to throw to, and he's got speed on the football field, and Miles Sanders is coming back. I just think Alshon will draw a little attention, and even any snaps over JJ is a big-time win for this football team. Any, and especially in the red zone. So I can see Alshon coming out of this game with a touchdown in the red zone. I can see that because every time he's been back on the football field throughout his injuries after 2018, he scored touchdowns. You know what I mean? So one thing you can bank on him for. And he always catches the football. Besides one big drop, he's always caught the football. So you know what? Alshon's making me take the robe off. And Miles making me take the robe off, and Lane, and these guys coming back are making me take it off tonight. Okay? Because it's coming off tonight because I still believe in this football team. People say, Tom, you're a homer. You're A, B, C, and D. I'll tell you what. Okay, this football team's always been better with Lane Johnson in the lineup. This football team's absolutely going to be better with getting Miles Sanders back. And this football team's absolutely better with getting Alshon back. And anybody thinks these aren't upgrades and Alshon's not an upgrade, you're delusional because the guy he's taking his spot over has 2 catches. Two. And even if he takes time away from Hightower in some fashion, he has 9. So let's not crown these dudes that he's coming in and getting snaps over. All right? He's going to come in and get snaps over them 2 guys. Greg Ward's still going to get his snaps. Jalen Reagor's still going to get his snaps. Travis is still going to get his snaps. You understand? So he's going to come in and take snaps from guys who are either young like Hightower, right? And he's still going to get on the football field, Hightower, and he's going to take a lot of snaps from JJ, as he should. Somebody should be taking snaps from JJ. So why not Alshon? So let's go. Why can't he be impactful? Why can't he be a big factor on Sunday in some fashion? I mean, 5 catches is a big factor to me with our offensive production at the wide receiver position, right? Raise your hand. A little trick here. Raise your hand if you're not down for 5 catches. Like if that doesn't please you. Because you're not going to get 5 catches out of JJ, and you're not going to get 5 catches out of Hightower. You're not going to get 5 catches combined out of them two. So if I get 5 for 65 and a touch, or 5 for 50 and a touch, that's not a win. That's a big factor to this offense. I'm not here to crown a dude. I'm just here to say that Carson plays better when Alshon's in the lineup. Always has. And now this has the makings of a little 2017-ish. Because you have guys who can take the top off, and you have your big catch radius guys. And your offensive line is going to be as healthy as it's been all year. So it's no excuse talk, too, right? No excuse talk here either on A2D. I agree, man. I still, people don't like them, and I get it, okay? But I put things in the past, and I try to not put my nose up to things and think, you know what? Maybe he wasn't the guy, right? We talked about this a million times. Maybe he wasn't the guy. Maybe it was Malcolm. Regardless on who it was, he's still here. So if you play in this uniform and you can help my offense that struggled, I'm not putting up my nose to any talent. I want as much talent as I can get. Off injury, etc. Right, boys? It's like getting a free agent in the middle of the season. Like, oh, okay, nice. We get a guy back that we haven't seen in a year. You know what I mean? It's a win. It's a win. There's rumors Brooks could be back by the playoffs.
Whoa. Wow.
Did you hear them rumors?
I didn't, but I love it. If that's the case, I love it.
There's no shot in my eyes, which is crazy. I'm not even saying that, but could you imagine if these guys are all healthy come playoff time? What if we win 5 of 8 and we're playing really good football? 5 of 8 means we won 7 out of our last 10. That's pretty good football going into the playoffs. Kyle, I agree. He loves throwing at the guys that are bigger targets. I mean, look, if you look at Travis Fulgham has as many receptions or is one reception below Ertz and I think Ward in most catches on this football team. And how many games he played in? You understand what I'm saying? Because he's a big target. Alshon delivers the same thing, a big target. And I think anytime he gets on the football field, he makes your your offense better. And then the fact you get Miles and Lane back. It's a win, guys. It's a flat-out win. I'm excited. Rip the robes off. Soak it in. Enjoy yourselves tonight. Because I believe this is a football team that can win some games down the stretch here. I feel like this is a football team that can win 5 of 8. If the defense can play good enough, right, and continue to just be solid for us, start taking the football away a little more. But if this offense doesn't turn the football over as much because Carson starts having trust in who's out there, why can't we win 5 of 8, boys? What do you guys say? What do you guys say out there? Can we win 5 of 8? Is it possible in your guys' eyes? And is these additions of these 3 guys going to make our offense better? We're asking you guys too. All right? Are these additions coming out right now, these 3, going to really upgrade our offense? I say hell yes. Hell yes, they upgrade our offense. Okay? So if you disagree, I would love to know. HUD Radio, agree, disagree radio. We love to have you. Any way you like to slice it. So to our poll, Alshon Jeffrey will have a big factor on Sunday for the Eagles. Do you agree or disagree? Let us know. Rye, Jake, let me know, brother. Pop, what's up, baby? Bill, Marquise, what's up? Lord, Ewing, I see all you guys. Kyle, everybody, Prism. We love all you. Donnie, I see you, Don. Steelers fan feeling good. I know you're feeling delicious, babe. Joe, what's up, brother? Just trying to give my love to everybody. Tor, we see you. We see you, honey. We see you. All right, we got it all out there. Everybody got their love. I didn't that first time on here. All right. So what do you guys say? Do you think he's a big factor? Or do you think
Okay.
I think with me, yeah, of course, it obviously adds something to the offense. Like when you get Lane Johnson, Miles Sanders, and Alshon Jeffrey back. I mean, coming off a Liz Frank injury, the history shows players aren't typically what they used to be. I think you're going to see him in a limited capacity, like even 10, 15 snaps. But at the same time, the defenses still have to respect the fact that it's Alshon Jeffrey, right? So I think that just helps Rieger, Fulgham, and some of the other guys just having him on the field and just having that leader on the sideline just to kind of help these young guys along the way. So I think that obviously on the field it helps, but I think on the sideline it helps as well.
No, I think, I agree. I mean, I think it just helps getting a vet back. You know, Jalen said he's done a lot for him early on in his career. He calls him his uncle. You know what I mean? So Uncle Alshon, I don't, so if he's a rat, I'm sure people don't like that. But if he really wasn't the rat, you love it. You love the leadership and the guidance. We won a Super Bowl with this guy in the locker room. So, I mean, the more guys that I feel like that can still play, that were part of that team, if you can still play, I'll take it. Like, if you can still play, I'll take it because I feel like you're a resilient cat. You know what I mean? He's been through a lot, dude. That really isn't totally on him. You know what I mean? Like, injuries aren't always on the player sometimes either. Like, he got some bad luck. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Got some bad luck and then got paid and wasn't on the football field for a while. So it all looked bad. The perception of it was bad, right? Perception of it looked like, oh, man, this guy's selling out. You know what I mean? Liz Frank. You know what I mean? You're not selling out. So, that is what it is. I'm not waving pom-poms, Sean. I'm telling you that if this quarterback can't turn it around, you expect him to throw this many interceptions the rest of the year when he's getting guys back? We're talking about 3 guys he's getting back. So, okay, pom-pom. You be freaking pom-pom and oh, my God, your computer screen would be all white if Saquon was coming back looking at pictures. You understand? Your computer screen would be all white if Saquon was. You'd be, oh, my, don't. Yeah, I mean, you'd be jumping on everybody you could jump on. Santa's here. You know what I mean? You're jumping on everybody's lap. If that happens. So you slow down. All right? So I can't be excited about getting Miles, Lane, and Alshon back. Grow up, Sean. I'm supposed to be excited about that. We're not. Listen, you can go on agenda, guys. They're going to sit here and want doom and gloom all the time. Or you can come for ways to try to figure it out. We're going to try to figure it out because there's enough talent on this football team to figure it out. You think otherwise, Sean? You think there's not enough talent on this football team to figure it out? Then fine. We're going to find out on Sunday. All right? You're out of line. You're out of line with pom-poms. Okay? You're out of line. Freaking pom-pom talk. All right? Jeez. My own. You be just laying naked in your bed, begging for your wife to come in if Saquon was healthy. You know what I mean? It's you'd meme her face with Saquon. You'd meme her face with Saquon. That whole little ride. You know what I mean? I love you, Sean. I love you. Don't love you the week of the Giants, though. You know how that goes. And I expect it right back. Who Daniel throw to? Who Daniel throw to? Daniel stinks. And if he comes in here and beats us, it's on this defense. You understand me? If he comes in here and beats us, defense is, they're getting locked in. Radar lock. Okay? We're taken down. You know, Sean would have his room looking like Penn State whiteout. Yeah, it would. Whiteout. Friday night game, they would turn it up. You know what I mean? They found out tonight. They would turn it up, you know what I mean? A Friday night whiteout. Crumb brulee. I love you, Sean. All right. What do you guys say? I mean, Jake, I think you agree, right? So you agree the big factor? And you just think big in some different ways too, which I like. Okay. Right?
You know, it's funny because I thought about this all week, especially when we were talking about it on Wednesday. We were talking about what can we expect from Alshon, not only in this game, but going forward. And up until about 30 minutes before the show, I was going to say disagree just because I don't think we were really going to see him a lot in this game. But then I just thought to myself, and I thought, okay, what did we talk about on Wednesday? We talked about getting him involved in one key aspect to start out and then kind of branching out from there. And also using him in a way to where we don't have to get him involved and him replacing, Fulgham, for example, or Rager. He can be kind of in his own little role. And the role that he'd be implemented in my opinion, at least he should be, and I think he will be on Sunday, is the red zone. And like we talked about on Wednesday, the one key aspect of this offense that hasn't been like years past, which has been very consistent in 2017, 2018, last year, we've been anything but consistent on the offense side of the ball in the red zone. It's like we can do everything to get to the 20-yard line, and then we've either got poor mismanaged play calls, bad passes, bad running attacks, or a Jake Elliott missed kick or two. So even if we see him just in a small sample size, and that's in the red zone, if he gets one touchdown this week, that's a big factor because he's giving us something that we haven't really seen a lot of, consistency in the red zone. We know Alshon could do that because like we talk about when he's been injured in 2018 and last year and even banged up in 2017, but he was obviously really good in 2017. Even in his worst games, he would still arrive and score touchdowns for this football team. Even if it didn't show up on the stat board, it didn't have over 100 yards receiving. It always had that one in the touchdown category at least, sometimes two. And I don't think that's going to change because like we talked about before, some could say to your point, Tom, and I agree with it, hey, this is like a new free agent acquisition because Christ, we haven't seen him since December 12th last year. But in a way, it's not because it's like you're getting a free agent, but with all the chemistry that you had the quarterback build off of for those 2 years, 2.5 years, really. So I get it. This guy, we put out the poll yesterday. He's one of the most disliked. I'm not going to say the most, but one of the most disliked athletes, justified or not, in this city right now. I don't think he should be, but it's the way it is. Very polarizing figure. Hasn't played a lot, got paid a lot of guaranteed money. Rumors speculated around him, whether it's truly him or not. I don't want to do the whole, Alshon Jeffrey revenge tour because I feel like I need to put that on a t-shirt or something. But when you look at it, I think at the least he's going to be influential in the red zone on Sunday, and that's the biggest factor that you can have. I'd rather him have 2 touchdowns and 9 yards than him have 60 yards and 0 touchdowns. So you know what I'm saying? Because touchdowns equal points.
Yep. So red zone scoring percentage. Okay. Seattle's 86%, by the way, which is absurd. This is red zone scoring percentage TD only. Okay. The Eagles are 64% this year, and last year they were 63%. Okay, they're 71% on the road this year, which is crazy. So that they're 13th in the league. Okay, so to me, that means that they can only get better here, right, guys? So they only got room to move up, getting a target like that back, right? That's all I was going with that. So it can only make us better in some fashion. So go ahead, Ryan. Done.
Yeah, so I agree. I really do.
Because I got caught up in the looking at that for a sec. But yeah, I think that this guy helps us. He doesn't hurt us, right? Like any fashion of him. Bringing him back is a great addition to this football team at this point. With an offense that hasn't been consistent enough, right? When you're looking for consistency, and the one thing that can help consistency would be that this football team turnover ratio is -7. Okay, -7. -7 isn't good enough, and the only way you're going to get to where we want to get to, winning 5 of the last 8, etc., right? Is bringing that back down a little bit. I mean, to the end of the year, that has to be even. That has to be even. You have to go on and win that. That's the biggest part of football, right? That and time of possession, okay? 2 stats that are big, all right? When you look at our time of possession, we're averaging 29 minutes a game, okay? You look at other teams, though, against us, all right, not crazy, but they're averaging 31. So we're losing that throughout the year. We've lost time of possession throughout the year, which is something we were really good at. Which is something that I thought we hung our hat on, right? We hung our hat on time possession and not turn the football over. Now, I don't really care about time possession that much if you're scoring. Make sense?
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. I want touchdown, so I don't care if you're scoring 10 seconds. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how you score to me.
Yeah, because real quick, Tom, correct me if I'm wrong, but like a team like Kansas City, because of all the big plays, I'm sure their time of possession isn't phenomenal because everything's a big play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And nobody's complaining about their offense like, oh, well, they're 19th in time of possession. Okay, well, they have 50 points on the board. You know what I mean?
No, you're right. You're 100% right. It doesn't matter how you get in. Marquise catch the TD. He has to retire at halftime like Levante David.
I'd love that.
Bye, girl.
So I've got 2 messages from the sweeps line early.
Love it.
He says, is Jake wearing a robe? No, you're wearing a blanket, right, Jake?
It's a blanket, yeah. But
Tom and I were wearing.
I had to improvise a little bit.
We had the robes.
One, it was a little chill in here, but 2, it was just taking us back to 2017.
Yeah, like I turned on the fan full blast because I've got this, and now I'm kind of stuck here because I don't want to walk over there and turn off the fan, so I'm probably going to wear this for the rest of the day. And then he also said 4-4 the rest of the way for the Eagles. 3 division games and winning against the Browns to finish 7-8-1.
So how many? So what? He's got 4-4 then, right?
Yep.
Okay.
4-4 the rest of the way. 7-8.
7-8-1, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Realistic. I mean, that's right where I'm at. Like I think that whole poll question like that, I'm right there. You know what I mean? I think they can win 4. Now I think they can steal 1. Now, can you steal 1? That's the question that we're going to have tonight. Because I think if they steal 1, they're playing really good football going in to the playoffs. So which one of them games can you steal? Right? If you talk about Seattle, Green Bay, who's the other one? Seattle, Green Bay.
The Cardinals and the Saints.
And the Saints, yep.
So can you steal 1? I think you steal Seattle. I think you could steal Seattle. You could steal Green Bay. I mean, there could steal games. They're not guarantees. They're not guarantees right now. I mean, it doesn't look good, but we play usually up the competition. So I'd say like we could steal one of them.
And here's the thing too.
Cardinals are stealable. We could steal the Cardinals. We could steal the Cardinals. Slay would be traveling with DeAndre. So, you know, I'm comfortable there. We could steal. I'm just saying steal. I'm not saying I'm feeling great going into that game. I'm just saying that they're stealable games though. Them teams aren't. They're not world beaters. I mean, the team that has the best record in football, we took them right down to the wire, essentially.
I agree with everyone who said it so far. I agree. To be honest, right now, I think the Packers game is the game because number one, we did it last year when we were playing. I mean, remember how bad of football we were playing then? We were talking about week 4, Green Bay Thursday Night Football was a must win because we lost the Falcons and then we lost to Detroit at home. We were playing horrible football, and we went into their house with Devontae Adams. We beat them.
All right, it's another one at Green Bay again, right? So
yes,
that's
correct.
I think New Orleans is stealable because it's at home. It's December 13th at home, cold weather, Drew Brees, right? I feel like that game's stealable, right? Okay.
It's just so tough because the Saints this year have been a Saints team that we haven't seen in years. They're actually really good on the road. I don't understand.
Are you good in 30? Like, are you good in 30 as a dome team? Are you good in 30 degrees? You know, that's a dogfight in 30 degrees usually. 30-degree games are dogfights. So, I mean, that's a game we could steal. I'm just saying, right? Seattle, that's a Monday night game at home. Again, another revenge game. We just can't beat them. So can we steal one finally? Can we get over the hump of beating Seattle? Right? So, I mean,
no.
I think we could because I think their defense is atrocious. Like, I don't think their defense is good enough.
No, their defense is definitely weak, but it's the quarterback. You know what I'm saying? I mean, we don't stop that quarterback.
No, nobody does. But can you score with them? You know what I mean? And their defense is that bad that you maybe can score with them. Not that their offense is any good right now. But there's games that are winnable, though. That's all. For that 5th win, that's all I'm saying.
Yeah. Listen, we're in a good spot because, listen, I mean, would we all –
Ryan, take the damn robe off because we'll try 5 out of 8. Let's go. 5 out of 8.
Hold on, I got to turn off the fan now. 5 out of 8
robe off. 5 out of 8 robe off. I'm keeping mine on because it's cold. But 5 out of 8 robe off talk. What's Sean saying? What's Sean? Saints or Tampa Bay? No, we play Saints. We don't got Tampa Bay. Marquis says we are 1-8 versus Seattle last 9 games. I think we get one. The defense is ass. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're due to beat them, guys. What the fuck is wrong with my QB? I think we get Seattle, to be honest. That defense is bad. Yeah, I think everybody's agreeing with that one. Now, listen, we got to go take care of a game Sunday first, okay? So before we worry about what's left on the schedule, etc., we got to get into the game that is coming to us Sunday, all right? And there's a couple things that you can look at with this football game, all right, is that their defense is giving up like 23, 24 points a game. They're fine. They're like right there, middle of the pack, etc., right? This is like similar to the Dallas game. Guys, what up, Cromer?
Hey, guys.
This is similar to the Dallas game. Cromer, I'll get your opinion on the poll in 1 sec. But this is similar to the Dallas game where their offense should not come in here and beat you. You should not allow this offense to come in here and beat you. If they score more than 20 points, it's a freaking indictment on this defense. And Sean, you don't have to like it, but Daniel Jones is not good enough to come in here. I mean, or beat us anywhere. He shouldn't be good enough. Our defense should be better than that, right? We should be able to take the football away a couple times. We should be able to win the turnover battle. So the big question mark is, can this offense not turn the football over? Can 11 be smart with the football? I think getting some of these guys back allows him to relax, take the robe off per se, and have a fucking field day. So let's go. That's what I'm thinking. And thinking about this game, I've been a 34-17 junkie on it, and I'm not running from it. Okay? I think it's a little beat up city here. I think we play the best game of the season right now. I think getting guys back, getting Lane back is exciting. Crum, you're not the only Dolphins guy. On the show, I think last week with you boys, I said I like the Dolphins. I like Dolphins to make the playoffs. And everybody, and there was some laughter. And I said, just look at their defense. Look at their defense. And Tua can play. So at least it looks like he can. You know what I mean? I don't know. That's still we're not going to crowd after a game. Kyle O'Brien, regular breakout game. We'd love that. We'd love to have it if we're going to play 34. Like I think we can.
Yep.
So boys, you guys want to get into? Before we get into that, we'll ask Chrome, but we'll get into some predictions and I want some players of the game from you. And I need to know a sleeper on offense and defense that you think can that has an impact, and that can be like a Richard Rodgers, a JJ, because Alshon's back, maybe a Hightower, you say too, because you don't know how many snaps he's going to get, right? So a little guy that doesn't get on the field often that steps up, right? So we'll get into that in a second. But Cromer, love you, brother. Checking in from Disney, I assume still, right?
Yep, still down here till Tuesday, guys.
Oh, you lucky bastard. Alshon Jeffrey will be a big factor on Sunday for the Eagles. Do you agree or disagree, Cromer? And the family out there, if you just join us, chime in. Let us know. Like, subscribe, follow. Oh, yeah. That's not true because there's to this guy's point, there's 50 people watching right now live on the platform. So, I mean, just stay hot. So, okay, go ahead to the poll.
No, I would agree to the poll, and it's not even necessarily. I'm not even looking at the stat sheet necessarily. I don't know that he's going to fill up the stat sheet, but just his presence coming back with this football team, I think it's huge. It's another weapon. They're finally seeming to start getting healthy, and I think that, Alshon is not the guy that he was Super Bowl year, and we know that he's not, and we don't need him to be at this point. But I think there's still some gas left in the tank. I think that he can come in. I think that Carson does look at him as a guy that he trusts when he's on the field, and I do think that his presence alone will make an impact. So do I think he's a big factor? Absolutely. It's hard not to look at a guy with the pedigree of Alshon Jeffrey finally coming back to this football team and not look at him as being a sizable factor in the offense. So absolutely agree to the poll.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it. We appreciate it. Jump in. Water's warm over here, Cromer. Love it. Love it. Get the robe off. Get the robe off. We're all a little cold, Greg. Okay, bud? We're all a little cold here. So you can kiss our ass down in Florida, too. All right? Kyle Watkins, that's what happens when you're a late round pick, man. You don't expect anything from him. So, even when you got out of Hightower's a win for this football team. Sean, that's delusional, in my opinion. I don't think that happens because I think we play our best football of the season, and I think you guys are going in a different direction, even though I think you're a tough football team. So grow up, okay? I love telling Sean to grow up. So to the next stuff, right? Let's talk about some score predictions. I think this is a part of the game. You know what's on the line, fam. $100 free A2D merch, whatever you want. There's tons of stuff, tons of T-shirts, etc. PhillyDrinkers.com is where you can get all your merch at. But at the end of the day, we're giving it out to you. Score prediction, offense, defensive player of the game. We do it weekly on different shows. So we're going to add some things into it. And a guy on offense and defense that might not be on the field a lot, or if he is, he's never talked about a lot, making a big play. So that's what we're looking for there too. So you guys let us know out there. We're going to let you know here. You guys want me to lead it off? I don't care. I mean, I already know mine because it's been the same all week. So I'll just get her out of the way. 34-17. Like I said, if this offense score, if they come in here and score at 34, somebody should get punched in the face, Sean. Or like Jim Short should get squared up if they come in here and score 34. So I think we have a chance to score 34. They're giving up about 24 a game. Their rush defense is good. They're only giving up 3.7 yards a carry. They're not a bad rush defense. They don't get after the quarterback too much, which can hurt them. I do want to run the ball, but I think this is a game you can take advantage of them a little bit in the passing game. So I look for Doug Peterson to do that, but they're going to run the football too. You know that. But I think they're going to try to take a little bit more advantage of them in the secondary in this football game. So we'll see how that plays out. But I think this defense should be creating turnover Sunday, and that's what helps us get to 34, right? We talked about a field-goal game against Dallas. Really wasn't a field-goal game. Well, a lot of guys are back. Lane Johnson's back. This team statistically wins games when Lane Johnson's on the football field. So I don't care if they don't blow him out and it's not 34-17. I don't care. Just give me another win. But this football team and offense is always better with Lane Johnson on the football field. So I'm going to take my chances and say with Lane, Miles, and Alshon, we finally beat somebody up a little bit. And even if you don't want to count Alshon as playing much, fine. Still beat up some people a little bit. 34-17. Carson Wentz, offensive player of the game, 325 plus. All right. 3 to 4 TDs right in that range. All right. And they roll. No interceptions. That's the fun little stat I'm going to throw in there. No interceptions. And his defense takes the football away twice. And guess who gets there first? Won't miss a Darius Slay. He'll get his first Sunday. But I'm going to look up front. Like Wayne Goldman, shouldn't be running all over you. Fletcher Cox, my God, Javon Hargrave, you're in the middle. You need to shut it down Sunday. Shut her down. Shut her down. Smoke Daniel Jones as well. Make it difficult for him in the pocket, okay? And let's go win a football game we're supposed to win, all right? Let's keep our season going with 3 in a row. 3 in a row makes us all feel gravy. 3 in a row is what we're talking, and that's a better football team, no matter who we beat and how we win it. So if you could talk about pom-pom, Sean, or winning 3 in a row, that's not pom-pom talk. That's just realistic talk. You winners of 3 in a row, you should feel better about yourself at this time of the season. So that's not a pom-pom. That's excitement. Let's go get one Sunday. That's where I'm at. What do you guys say? Scores, player of the game, and then once you're done that, we can circle back around and do our like sort of like unsung guys that can step up for us. All right?
Cool.
And don't mind me. I'm going to piss again for the 500th time. So, Jake, go ahead. Hit us, babe.
Yeah, I think with me personally, obviously Alshon's the hot name right now, but I'm not going to go for Alshon. I really do think it's going to be close, at least in the beginning, and then I think the Eagles kind of get that momentum and kind of get the flow of the game because the Giants' defense is nothing to sneeze at. It's not like an elite defense, but it's a solid defense. So I think when it's all said and done, I have the Eagles winning 30-17. My offensive player of the game, I'm going to have Jalen Reagor. And my defensive player of the game, I'm going to go with Javon Hargrave.
Go ahead, Chrome.
Yeah, I'm going to stick right around with where my predictions, I think, lined up the other day. I'm going to go with a 33-16 victory here. I think it's a statement game. I think this is a game that I don't think we're going to see the same struggles that we saw the first time around. I think the bye week is going to be huge. And for me, offensive player of the game, it's got to be Carson Wentz. This has got to be the game now to come back and turn around. He's struggled a little bit over the course of the season, but this seems to be the time of year as well where Carson starts to turn it around. Last year, was kind of proved that where he had a phenomenal second half of the season, and I believe we're going to get that starting this week. So for me, it has to be Carson Wentz. And defensively, I'm going with Derek Barnett for a lot of reasons. I do think his inconsistency needs to change a little bit here. I think that this is a team that you can get after the quarterback. Daniel Jones does not make great decisions when you put pressure on him. They don't have a great offensive line. This should be a game where this defensive front should be able to create opportunities to turn the football over, whether it's getting to the quarterback or forcing him to make quick decisions. So absolutely, for me, I'm going with Derek Barnett as defensive player of the game.
So I'm going to keep it the same, and I'm going to double down on a couple. I'm going to keep it the same as Wednesday. I'm going to go 27-17 Eagles. Jake, you had Reagor, right?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll change it up for that one. I'm going to give the guy who I had as kind of my dark horse player of the game. I'm going to turn him into my player of the game because I truly do think he's going to catch a deep shot. I think we're only going to see him like twice, but I think one of them is going to be a deep shot for a touchdown, and I think it's going to be Hightower for a touchdown. So I'm going to go with him for the offensive player of the game.
That's the best weapon you're coming up with. Nobody even took Miles Sanders. Nobody even took Miles.
I honestly think we're going to see more. I'm not saying we're not going to see Miles, but I don't know.
He says 100%. Nobody takes him. That's telling. We took a one-trick pony over our running back, and you know what I mean? I don't know. Telling, scary. Not on you. Scary.
I mean, it seems like they trust Hightower in the final moments of the game more than they do with Sanders, so maybe that's telling. You know what I'm saying? One guy's been on the field. The other guy hasn't.
You're pulling a Derrick Henry late night? You know what I mean?
What do you mean, Derrick? No. You want me to do that? You want me to do that? A great running back's not elite. You want me to crush that on the air? I'll do that in 2 seconds.
Just to clarify, Derrick Henry is elite. He doesn't catch the ball out of the backfield to be elite. You don't have to be a dual threat when you can lead the league in rushing. You understand? So you don't have to be a dual threat when you can lead the league in rushing. If he just averaged 1,200 yards a season and he just ran hard and scored a lot of touchdowns, and you can say, okay, maybe he's not elite. But he led the league in rushing last year. Let's put a little respect on that part of the game, please. Okay? Let's put a little fucking respect on that part of the game. It's so impactful. I love the Chuckster, but he's so off base with it because he's such a Westbrooker that he wants dual threat city, and he doesn't enjoy the power back anymore. He doesn't enjoy it. I can smell it all over him. He's a little guy, and he likes the little backs. And I'm not mad at him, but I can see right through him. It's agenda talk. So love you, brother, but you're so wrong. And we can do this one too, like we did McCoy and Westbrook. We can get into this argument too. Love it. Would love to chew it up. Wish you would have said it on the show last night. Wish you would have, wish you would have.
Chuckster, please say it next Thursday, and that way I can debate you, please, Mr. Running Back guy. Because I'm a quarterback guy, not a running back guy, apparently. But come on.
Right. I would love that. Right. I would love for it to get to you. You know what I mean? I would love for it to even get to you. It probably won't even get to you because I got so many things to say to him. You know what I mean? So many questions. So I love him. But let's move on. Go ahead. Score.
27-17, Hightower, deep shot, offensive player of the game. Offensive player of the game, even though I think defensive player of the game is going to be Brandon Graham, just because I think Barnett's going to be huge, but since Graham went with him, I think Barnett's going to have a fumble recovery for the touchdown to kind of put the Eagles over the top. But I think Brandon Graham, he's been the most consistent part of this defense. Consistent every single week. He's been, I don't even want to call it a breakout year because he's been good in the past, but this has been the most consistent, probably best start of a season he's had in his career. And I don't see that changing anytime soon.
Couldn't agree with you more, right? He's been
That's a good one.
He's been the MVP of this football team through the first half of the season. We couldn't ask for more out of a guy that we gave money to over the age of 30, right? He's a lunch pail guy. He brings confidence into this locker room and this football team. There's so many things that he does, not even on the football field, but even off the football field, he's so impactful. And then on the football field, he doesn't shut up. You know what I mean? He doesn't shut up. So that rubs, right? You know what I mean? You ever listen to him like mic'd up? He doesn't stop talking. You guys notice that, right? And he's always got energy, and I just think that energy translates to other guys. You know what I mean? And he's never really wrong either, right? I mean, when he makes like little predictions and stuff, he usually nails it. And he was right about Sydney, right? Nobody else believed he was right about Sydney, but he came out about Sydney and was like, oh, I believe in this kid, right? And it looks like he can still play. It looks like he can play a little bit, like a tad. So I love the pick. Love it. So a little unsung heroes. I hate saying that word. Little hero talk. Guys you don't expect. So what's funny is the guy you picked, Rye, for the player was going to be the guy that I was picking for that spot.
Oh, so that's why you're upset. That's why you were upset with.
I just don't think I think one catch for a TD is like unsung, right? I think players at gamer guys are getting 6-7 catches, right? Or they're hopefully rushing for 80 yards, you know what I mean, etc. That's where I hope from. So that's why that's why I gave you a little bit, but you redeemed yourself defensively. So we've moved on. So I think I was leaning towards him, but I'm not going to take him. What's funny is I'm going to take the guy that we were talking about to start this show. All right. We started with Alshon. We started Impact. Well, that's like nobody's going to expect anything really. I mean, we said a big factor mainly because if he steps on the football field, you got to respect him out there. It should make us better and maybe catch a couple passes, right? Better than JJ. So if he come catch 3 balls, that's more production than we would have got out of JJ. Correct, boys? So anything's a win. So I'm going to go with him. Even if it's 3 catches for 30 yards, I don't care. That's a win for our offense. Defensively, this one's a funny one because he's a big-time player. But I'm going to go Darius Slay. And the reason I'm going to go Darius Slay is I think he gets his first interception finally. And that's like something we haven't had. You know what I mean? So that somebody stepping up in a spot where we haven't got it, right? And we know he's got hands for the football, so he just hasn't got it yet. You know what I mean? So I know it's a weird one to put in that spot because he's so impactful besides interceptions, but he's due for one too, right, boys? And the way we take the football away, we can use one anyway. We can get him from anybody. So let's say Darius gets his first pick of the year. Let's go. Jake?
I've been kind of pondering it, but I think just looking at the whole landscape, obviously Alshon's coming back. Rieger had a touchdown last week. Travis Fulgham. So we know that whole story there. But I think my unsung hero, for Sunday is going to be Greg Ward. He's not going to get you like a ton of like splashy plays, but he'll keep the chains moving. I think he gets a good amount of catches, keeps the momentum going, and like I said, a couple third down catches, maybe a touchdown, maybe. That's my unsung hero on offense. And on defense, I'm gonna go with TJ Edwards.
Damn,
Like it.
Yeah, that's my big one. And he was undrafted, right? Just so I can. I think he was undrafted.
His dad's probably.
I think so.
But anyway, nonetheless, it's obvious. You give the kid an opportunity. I'm not going to say he's flourished, but he's done very well so far, along with Alex Singleton. That's another guy that's done very well. But I think
Stop naming names. I'm going to run out of names. I'm going to run out of names.
I already picked my guy. I already picked TJ Edwards. Don't worry. But I think he continues to progress, continues to develop, and I think he plays very, very well on Sunday.
Yeah, I like it. I like it, Jake, because, I mean, listen, if he can get 12 tackles a game, then you're impactful. That's an impactful linebacker. That's a win, right? That's a win. I just want somebody out there making tackles, please, okay?
Yep.
You got a good defensive front, but they're going to eat up blocks, so you got to be able to come in and make tackles. That's linebackers' jobs, all right? So let's go. Love it. Cromer?
Yeah, for my offensive unsung hero, I'm going to go with our guy, Tom. Mr. All I Do Is Catch Footballs, Richard Rodgers. I think
Son of a... I swear to God. I swear to God.
Richard, he's just a guy who
Hold on, Crow. Right, maybe you should have taken Hightower, right, as your player.
Rager was taken.
You could have taken Fulgham. You could have taken Miles. You could have taken so many. You could have taken guys. You could take Dallas. Everybody was on the board for you.
And that's the thing. I think Dallas's name is always the sexy one that's out there. But you have those guys who continue to produce week in and week out, and people just don't talk about them because they're not the sexiest names. And I know Tom, me and you were big on him for what he's contributed to this football team with Richard Rodgers. And I feel again there's going to be opportunities there. He's not a guy that the other team game plans for, but when you need a big catch, when you need a couple of yards, you got to get beyond the sticks. He has been one of your most reliable guys since he was brought back to this football team. So I think we see the same. I think we see the exact same this week. And on defense, I'm going to go with a guy that is a name that we expected a lot more from this year. And it just hasn't been there. But I feel like this could finally be the week that we get a little bit more production out of Robbie Coleman here. I think that if this defensive front can get to Daniel Jones, which I expect them to be able to do, they should be able to do, I think that he could be primed to be a guy who you may get a pick six or a big pick at a certain point in the game. So I'm gonna go with Robbie Coleman here. I think he's a guy that people at this point aren't expecting very much from, but we know the skill set he has and his ability to play, in the slot. So I'm gonna go with Robbie Coleman.
I love it, Chrome, because it's a guy when we brought in, we all loved the addition. I mean, Robbie Coleman's been a guy who's been a really good slot corner in this league for a long time. Maybe lost his step. I don't know. I don't know why some guys that are good come here and they're not good anymore. So, that'd be really, really good sign if he can make a big play for this defense, and really a guy who's stepping up that hasn't all year. You know what I mean?
Yep.
So in that kind of role in terms of takeaways. So let's go.
And I do have an honorable mention, but I'm going to wait until Ryan gets his shot first.
Go ahead. Just go ahead.
Well, I mean, I don't even know if it's an unsung hero, but track record proves itself against the Giants. Boston Scott has the opportunity to have a big game this week as well. So I'm going to be. It wouldn't shock me if he puts up big numbers this week.
Can I say something before you go, Ryan?
Yeah,
be a guy who didn't buy into certain guys do good against certain teams, right? What I mean? But now I'm even more of a believer as I've grown in the sports too. Not grown, I've always watched sports, but you know what I'm saying? I've let myself grow and in the things that are okay, these are trends. And a lot of guys just beat up on certain teams, and he's always made big plays against the Giants. So you know what I mean? I could see it. But I also see that I also got a feeling that Miles gets a good amount of touches on Sunday too. So,
Well, before I do, Steelers fan, don't say that because you're really going to upset me now. You're triggering me now. He says Ryan passed up on all these good players, like how he passed up on DK Metcalf, who's a top 5 wide receiver. That may be true, but you don't need to put it in writing. Okay, that's number one. Number two, my offensive player of the game, I feel like he's the ultimate underdog right now. I'm going to go with Jake Elliott because he's not going to miss a kick. That's going to be my offensive player of the game. And my defensive player of the game, unsung hero-wise, I'm going to go with, on the opposite side of Edwards, I'm going to go with Singleton. Because as we saw, Singleton, I mean, Christ, he's been better than Nate Gary. You know what I'm saying? He's been the most consistent. I mean, can I call him the most consistently good or just consistent linebacker we've had all year? I mean, because Gary's been consistently awful. So, I mean, that's been the only consistent thing about him. But it kind of shows that this guy, he's not great. I don't even know if he's good, but he does the job better than the guys that they had in front of him before. So I'm going to say he continues on that stride, and he does good enough to, get the defense stable enough to hold the victory and please don't make Wayne Gallman look like Saquon Barkley again like he did a couple weeks ago.
And Wayne can play. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I like Wayne, but they need to lock him. This defensive front needs to eat. These linebackers need to make open field tackles.
Yes, Don, I went with Jake Elliott. I did.
Always do.
He is ultimate underdog. And listen, I mean, when Chrome, you talk about Boston Scott having great history against the Giants. I mean, Mr. Elliott, I mean, we don't have to talk about it. I mean, we know exactly what we're talking about there.
Yep.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Hasn't been good. It's an interesting situation. I want to see how that plays out next year. What they do with Jake Elliott if he's still on this roster. We'll see how he plays over these last 8 games. Prism says Eagles offensive player of the game, Fulgham, defensive player of the game, Daniel Jones. Love it. Pick City. P says Birds get a win, or at least they better for my psyche. I think he meant psyche, not psychic.
Yeah, that's what he meant. Yep.
Felt that. You know what I mean? Is that Marquise? Is that right?
Yep, Marquise. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This Eagle secondary dropped too many passes to a product, a pick six, to produce the pick six. Probably means these DBs minus Slayer Butterfingers. Yeah, I mean, there's no such thing as a tip drill here in Philly. Like, balls go up in the air, they stay there for 4 days. So, and nobody gets underneath them, or somebody else will catch them on another team. It's weird. Prism, he is, but will this defense take the football away is the question. I mean, we're -7 in turnover differential. We don't take the football away enough to my liking or anybody's liking. So, I mean, if he does, I think we get to 34-17. If he plays a clean game, we're in goddamn trouble. So we'll see how it plays out. Don, they go 7-1. Don. Oh my God.
I already said it. They go 7-1. I'm getting a tattoo of Mickey Mouse on my ass cheek.
Can't wait for it. So
put that out there.
Is that getting live stream, Chrome? Is that getting live stream?
If it wouldn't shut us down, it would.
Fair point.
Well done. It's a little over-under game.
Yeah. So we figure, because the fam always likes when we do over-under. So fam, we're talking the rest of the year. So the last 8 games, the next 8 games for the Eagles. Give us, and we're going to come up with some on our own, obviously, but give us some over-unders you want us to predict and you want yourselves to predict, and put them in the comments. It could be for the team overall. It could be for an individual player. It could be for amount of mistakes Doug Peterson makes in the red zone, how many passes Jalen Hurts doesn't throw. You can make any creative over-unders that you want. Just type them in and we'll read them off to you. But I'll go first. Kind of the main topic at hand, like we talked about, is Alshon. So if I set the over-under of touchdowns for the rest of the year, so 8 games remaining, and I said 4.5, you're going over-under Alshon Jeffrey touchdowns.
4.5. I mean, that means you got to play every game, right?
Or he can have 2 one game and then have 2 the other. So really, I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, he's bunched them. He's bunched them before. I mean, I don't think he's going to get them all in one game.
4.5. It is.
Yeah.
I'm going to go under because I think he can get 4, but I don't know if he's getting 5.
For exactly what Tom said is exactly what I would have said. I'm going to go under for the exact thing. I think I think he'll get 4. I don't know that he gets over that.
Yeah, I'm going to go under as well.
Well, screw it. I'll go over. I'll go 5. I originally had 4, but I'll go 5. I'll go 5. There's some bad secondaries that we play in the last 8 games. You know what I'm saying? So I'll go there. So Marquise, Travis Fulgham, 10 touchdowns at the end of the season. Over under 10? Is that what he's saying? What does he have now? 4?
4? Yeah.
Nah, I'm going under.
Yeah.
I'll go 8. I'll say he rep.
That's what I was thinking too. Yeah, I was thinking 8.
Yeah, that's aggressive. I got to go under.
Yeah, and especially if Miles is 100% and he's back, there's going to be a focus more on the running game as well. I would say under. I think 7 or 8 is a good number for him.
And plus,
Dallas is
back. Dallas is back too, and I'm guessing Ertz will be back eventually.
Yeah, I mean that's a hell of a. I'll tell you what, for his situation, that's a hell of a year. If you can get 6, 7 touchdowns, hell of a year for Fulgham.
Jake, you said under, right?
Yes.
Okay. Don. Over under. J Jaw touchdowns 4. Under. He already has
under.
1 under.
Under. Yep.
See, he took
under.
He took mine because mine was going to be over under 1.5 TDs for him.
So all he has to do is find the end zone one more time to win.
And we're saying receiving TDs, not no bullshit where the ball's fumbled in the end zone and then he picks it up. I don't count that. Over under 4 or 1.5 J-Jaw TDs, receiving TDs. I'm going under. I think he might get 1 more, maybe.
Under.
Yep.
Under.
I mean, hell, I feel like the real question should be instead of 4 touchdowns, Don, over under J-Jaw, like plays on the field 4. You know what I'm saying? Appearances on the damn field 4.
How about just receptions, period?
Oh, that's definitely on. I mean, God. Does he even have I think he has 1 reception all year, and that was the Steelers. Oh, he has 2. Pardon me, JJ. Hold on. Pardon me. I got to put your picture up here. Out of respect. Pardon me. Let's see here. We have Marquise. God. Carson Wentz finishes the season with 50 total turnovers. How many does he have now?
16, I think. No.
Christ.
Yeah, I'm going under.
Yeah,
I'm going under.
Yeah.
I mean, if he has over that, I don't know if we win another game.
No.
You know what I'm saying? We might, if he has over 50 turnovers.
Well, so cut that in half. Let's say 25.
All right, what else?
Over under 25.
What's he got? How many now?
I think 16 or 17. I'd have to look.
Under.
Yeah, I'm going to say under for the simple fact of out of hope. I think he needs to turn the football over less for this team to go on the run that I believe, and a lot of us believe they can do in the back half of this schedule. So for out of necessity alone, I'm going under.
Yeah. I'm going under as well for that one.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. Big. I'm going under.
Let's see. Volpix says Miles Sanders, 1,500 yards this season, over under. What does he have now?
Or something.
Yeah, I don't think he's going to have enough time to get that.
Yeah, no. He'd have to have a historic run for that.
My original prediction was 1,900. That's not happening.
And he's got to go 1,100 yards in 8 games.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Oh, he's got 1,108.
Yeah, no. Under. I'll say 1,300.
Yeah, I think that's realistic. I mean, if you have to average 100 a game for 800 yards, that'll give him 12 something. So, I'll say 12. I think he can end up with 12. You know what I mean? I think he end up with 1,200.
Let's see. Ooh, this is a good one, Marquise. Over under 30-point games allowed, 3. So they can only allow 3 more games where the opposing team scores more than 30.
That's a good one.
Well, let's look at the quarter.
I'm going to say push. Because if I got them winning 5 games somehow, they can only give up 30 in 3 of them. So, so I'm gonna go push. I know I hate going push, but that's where I had them. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go push on that one.
I see the Seahawks doing it.
The Saints might be able to do it.
Maybe.
Arizona might be able to do it.
Arizona's going to do it.
Yep.
I'm gonna go under. I think I see 2 more games that they do that.
Here's the funny thing too. We can still I'm going to go over with 4, but they can still win those games because that just means
absolutely
we just have to put up 32 or 30. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be a shootout.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so I'm going to go over with 4.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, I'll go over. Why not?
Yeah, I just can't because I just don't find this team in Shootout City. So, I'm praying they don't get in Shootout City, and I pray that God this defense doesn't get beat up like that either. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So that's like my goal. So that's why I'll stick with 3.
Marquis says over under slight picks 1.5. No, I think we'll finish the year with 3. That's the thing. He's only had 1 year where he's had crazy amount of interceptions, and it was 8. The rest of the year he's averaging 2.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll go 3.
Yeah, I agree with that, Ryan. I'll go over with 3.
I hope to go over. I mean, he has none right now.
Yeah, I hope so.
Not trending in that direction, but I'll say it means he got to get 2. I'm gonna say under. I think he gets 1 more, and it's this week, hopefully. He hasn't taken the football away yet. So,
Marquis says Carson Wentz already has 32 total turnovers.
No way.
Jeez. While you're looking at that, Chrome, Marquis says Brandon Graham 12.5 sacks over under. What does he have so far?
I think he has 6, 6.5, 6.5.
So he's got to basically continue doing the same thing. I'm gonna go under. I'm gonna go 10.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, 10 or 11.
Yeah, I think he finally gets to double digits this year, but I don't think he's going to get to 12.
so I'm
going to go under.
This team goes on a run. He gets over 12. Let's go.
Okay.
Friday the 13th, he gets 13.
Marquise says over under Wentz interceptions 17. And what is he at right now, Jake? 12?
Hold on a sec. That's interesting though. He is currently at 12. He's at 12 right now.
So he can only get 5 more. I'm
5
gonna
more.
go 19. I'm gonna say he finishes with 19.
Oof.
I got to ask, where is the I don't see 32 turnovers here. I see 16.
Yeah, I mean Gavin's saying the same thing. He says he does not.
He has.
It didn't sound.
there's no way he has 32.
He has 4 lost fumbles. He has a lot of fumbles. He hasn't lost them all, but he has 4 lost fumbles.
So he's probably reading them wrong. He's probably counting the just the fumbles as turnovers, but they're not because they weren't lost.
Even that wouldn't even be 20. And he has what 2?
We'll go back to the other one with 17.
12 INTs
with 17 picks, right? Like the player best football down the stretch, he's got to go under that. Like he can only throw 4 interceptions. You know what I mean? He's got to go under that. And to save his season per se, he has to go under that. So I'm gonna say under. I'm gonna say he only throws 3 more interceptions. I'm gonna say he cleans it up. I'm praying. It's more like talking into existence. 3 picks in 8 games, cleans it up. Maybe 4. That'd be the max. Is he pushing? And he doesn't even push that number. He's 1 under. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go under. The worst is 4.
Yes.
Jake, how many touchdowns does he have so far? 15?
He's 12 and 12.
12 and 12. Okay. So if I set the touchdowns at, I'll go 27.5. Over under.
I'll say
total.
under.
I'm not saying 27.5 for the rest in 8 games. I'm not saying that.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna go under. I'll say 24.
So what do you have his final stat line?
I'm going over.
I'm gonna say, let me see, 24 and let me see, he has 12 right now. 24 and 16.
24 and 16. Okay. You're saying over, Tom?
Yeah, he's always got to average 1.9 touchdowns a game to go over that. 8 games left.
So what do you have his final touchdown interception ratio for?
I got 16. I got 16 picks as a max for him, and I got 30 touchdowns.
Chrome?
I'm going to go over.
I'm
I
not
think he could average 2 touchdowns a game and eclipse that number. I think some games he may have 3, even possibly 4. This week, I could see him putting up, dropping a 4 spot in passing TDs. Picks by the end of the year, he's at 12 already. Let's say 18.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna go 30 and 18. TDs and INTs.
Yep, I'm going 29 and 18. And I think honestly, I think we would all agree if they had, I mean, especially for Jake and Tom's because they've got over and then Jake has under, but Tom has over under. But I think any of the stat lines that we have, if he finishes with those, I think that's good enough for the division. You know what I'm saying? Because it's an improvement touchdown wise dramatically, and he's slowing down. I mean, for us, Chrome, we only have him throwing 6 more interceptions for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Yep.
So so he's cutting it in half. So he's improving drastically in both.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Don says over under Doug Peterson 2-point conversion attempts 15 over.
Yeah,
Especially if Elliott continues to suck, over.
Yeah, over.
Sorry, so 28. All right. So 30 would be a little bit more than 2 a game.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so 2 out of them 8 games, he's got to throw 3. So that's the kind of consistency that you think would translate into us playing our best football down the stretch, right? So that's what I'm going with, and I like it. So,
and I think that's a lot of that. That would be very similar to production that we got last year in the second half of the year. So if I'm gonna, for me personally, if I'm gonna sit here and beat the drum that I think he's gonna bounce back and replicate his last year's second half, I have to go over on that.
Yeah, I'd be an idiot and not a true believer if I can't have him throwing 2 touchdowns a game in 2020 National Football. Like, you know what I mean? That's 2 TDs a game in the National Football League. Come on, guys. You know what I mean? Like, he's got to be able to do that. He's got to be able to do that. You're a franchise quarterback. You're getting paid $100 million. Like, take the kid gloves off. He's got to be able to throw 30. And he should be able to throw more than that. If you want to go on a little run, he should be able to throw 32, 33. You know what I mean? You want to go on a little run. I mean, that's a quarterback we expect to have. Why can't he throw 32 and 16 picks? Or even 32 and 17 picks and push the picks? You know what I mean? That's a win for us, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You guys are taking that one? So, I mean, that wins us the division. That wins us 5 games. And that would have us going in the playoffs feeling real good about ourselves. Real good about ourselves.
Marquis says over under Wentz 9 touchdowns, currently at 5. So he's going to have 5 more to go over. Over.
Yeah, I'll go over.
Uh-oh. Chrome's thinking under, I think. Chrome's thinking under.
I don't know if I'm thinking under or push because if other guys are going to be more of a focal point, particularly getting healthy and getting these weapons back, I don't think there's going to be that necessity for him to get into the end zone. If Miles is healthy, I think red zone's going to look a lot different. So I'll say I don't like to push, but I'll go with push here. I think he can get to 9. I don't know that he's going to get double digits, though.
Let's see. Don as we go. Over under ESPN bringing up Carson Nick Foles debate. 108. Way over. You know that.
Over. Wayne says Miles and Boston are going to get more touches. So hopefully they do. You know what I mean? Hopefully they do. Hopefully Miles is healthy for 8 games. I mean, that's what we're looking for here.
Yep.
That's what we need. All right. Any more over-unders? We move on to little NFL biggest surprises.
Sounds good to me.
All right, boys. So, want your biggest surprises and your biggest disappointments, okay? And that can be from teams, players, etc. All right. I think one of the I'll call them a surprise because your record is what it says it is, right? But you have to look at the Steelers and say a surprise, being undefeated. Like not good, but like the Steelers are a surprise to me. And we'll just give off two. I don't want to take anybody else's. I don't know what guys are going, but the Dolphins are a surprise because they've got it done defensively. They've been tough defensively. They're a tough-minded football team defensively. They went out and made a lot of upgrades this offseason for that defense. And they got leaders on that defense, and they play well. The offense is like, you don't know, but you do have your quarterback, looks like. So, the Dolphins are a surprise to me, big time. Big time. And you can say that for a lot of things. I mean, I think when you look at some disappointments, around the league, you look at the Houston Texans and what they've done and what Deshaun Watson's done. It just as a football team has been a disappointment. I mean, I'm sure for Deshaun Watson, it's a killer. It's a guy who's always been a winner. So, I think that kills that kid too, but they're a big time disappointment. And, another team that's disappointment and they usually are, year in, year out, is the Minnesota Vikings again. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. A lot of talent, a lot of money to Kirk Cousins, and he just not good enough. You know what I mean? It's not good enough and never will live up. Never will live up to that money. Ever. And that's a killer. That's a killer. So I'll let you guys go, and I got a couple players after that, and then, we'll keep it moving.
I'll go real quick. My biggest surprise is actually a player. I'm going to go Justin Herbert here. I don't want to say I didn't think he was going to be good, but I didn't think he was going to be this good this quickly. I thought he was going to be a guy who I don't want to say, I'm going to go with this because I honestly believe it at draft time. I thought he was going to have a lower ceiling than like a Tua, for example, than a Burrow. And I mean, you can argue it just because of the win-loss totals, but honestly, I mean, we would all agree Herbert's probably been the most impressive rookie quarterback so far. And that's not to take it away from the other guys because Burrow's been great and Tua's been really good so far.
You're right.
Mm-hmm.
You're right. And the piggyback, right? Like I'll give some players quick because I got two of them. J.C. Jackson from New England. I didn't know nobody's taking him.
That's a good one.
Leads the league in interceptions, and came out of nowhere playing alongside Stephon Gilmore. You don't hear a lot about him. And came out of nowhere and turned himself into a little bit of a playmaker. And a guy we're going up against this weekend, Blake Martinez. Blake Martinez leads the NFL in tackles. Mm-hmm. So, Blake Martinez is a really good signing by the New York Giants. And a guy you look for. So, that sort of under the radar guy that has been a surprise around the league. You know what I mean? And I think there's some big ones right there.
And the biggest surprise, and it's also disappointment. So it's kind of like a 2-for-1 thing. My biggest surprise is how bad the NFC East has been because I expected all four of these teams. It's kind of be bunched. Now it is kind of bunched, but bunched at like 2 wins, 1 win, 3 wins. You know what I'm saying? Like it's definitely bunched, but I really thought Washington was going to step up just because of McLaurin and the outside weapons and Dwayne Haskins. I didn't expect him to be good. Tom, we had it on the no card. Dwayne Haskins stinks. We never thought he was going to be a true franchise quarterback, but I thought he was going to be able to be better than what he was last year because he had a way better defense to take pressure off of him. He had a running game that I thought was better than what he had last year, and he had weapons on the outside finally and a really good head coach. Not the case at all. Then they're now with Alex Smith clearly. My biggest disappointment in this entire division isn't even Dallas. To me, it's Daniel Jones.
Damn it!
Because I expected Daniel Jones. I didn't expect him to be an MVP candidate. I didn't expect him to be that second-year player that kind of comes out of nowhere like Wentz was and Mahomes was and Lamar Jackson was the last 3 years. But I expected him to clean up the messes. I expected him to tighten up the screws because you see it. You see the weapons he has on the outside. I think we would all take Sterling Shepard, Slayton, and Golden Tate. I think we would take Evan Ingram when he decides to make passes. And I know he hasn't had Saquon Barkley, but guess what? He didn't have them all last year for a good portion. His offensive line's better, his defense is better, and his coach is better.
He didn't get better.
He's been the same thing. He's been the same exact thing.
He didn't get better. Another one who's a big surprise real quick, Tannehill. You talk about 20 TDs, 3 picks.
Yep.
Ryan Tannehill's, exceeded some expectations in terms of the passing game, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he has in a way.
I do agree, Tom, but I think it also helps that he has an elite running back right next to him, too.
Yep.
No, it doesn't hurt, but he's never been that guy, right?
You're right.
He's never been that guy. So to me, that's a surprise and a disappointment. I mean, let's be real. I'm not a big fan of the guy, but Lamar Jackson, when you're the MVP of the league, you come back. You haven't been the MVP of the league. Yeah. So I know your team's winning football games still, but you've been a disappointment. You've definitely been a disappointment. In terms of what everybody thought he was going to be, right, guys? So, I mean, I think he's an idiot when he says, well, everybody knows what we're running. Well, because you only run 3 plays. So, I mean, of course, guys know what you're running, jackass. So, I would shut up and run. You know what I mean? Run for your life, baby. And, I wouldn't be talking about everybody knows and throwing people under the bus when you're a 3-trick pony. Okay? So, I'm tired of that shit. Now you're making excuses because you're not playing well, right? You smell it, guys? Smell excuses because you're not playing well? Smell excuses? Shut up, dude. Shut up. It makes no sense. Okay? Yes, everybody knows what you're running. You know exactly what you're running because you're running. Or you're putting it in the gut. Or maybe you're throwing. Maybe.
Yeah, he either throws those little passes to Andrews, he runs, or he throws the floaters to DuVernay and Marquise Brown. That's all he does.
I mean, 12 touchdowns. Russell Wilson's got 28. He runs around. You know what I'm saying? He runs around a little bit.
He has way more. He runs around.
Yeah, Mahomes runs around. He's got 25. Justin Herbert runs around. He's a rookie. He's got 17. Tannehill runs around. He's got 20. Right? Josh Allen runs around. He's got 19, I think. Right? So, I mean, there's run-arounders. But there's a lot of there's a lot of guys that you can say, man, have exceeded expectations or been surprises or disappointments out there. There's a ton. So read them off, fam, whoever you guys got. Jake, you got some names for us?
Yeah, I think at least so far this season, my biggest surprise, and I really didn't expect him to have as good of a year as he's having, is Robbie Anderson. Robbie Anderson's having a phenomenal year so far. I mean, right now, just to put it in perspective, his highest amount of yards he had in the season is 779. He's currently at 751. So he's going to break 1,000 this year.
Jake, his teammate, right with him. You can make cases that both are surprises. Teddy's played really well, and Robbie Anderson. I mean, you're right. He's like 4th in the league in receiving yards or 3rd.
It's crazy. Yep, he's about to break his career for catches. So it's just it's amazing what a change of scenery can do. And speaking of change of scenery, another name, Nelson Aguilar, as a big surprise. It's amazing when you go to somewhere different, where coming from a place that didn't really work out, it's just the little things that show how much it can really change and help a player. Now, again, he's I think their number 4 wide receiver on their depth chart, but he's contributing. He's making, I think, at least a 50-yard catch, I think, every game. So he's definitely contributing. But I think my biggest disappointment, obviously, and it's right in our backyard, is Zach Ertz, plain and simple. You had a debacle during the offseason with Howie Roseman, and apparently that whole relationship is unfixable from everything I'm hearing and everything that we've heard going into the season. And obviously, in your body language, it showed. And if you're really going to worry about the money that much to where you're just going to be, oh, woe is me, and you have your head down the whole time, and it's going to affect your play that much, then how much of a team guy are you really? You know what I'm saying?
That's a great name. I didn't even think of that. That's a really good name.
Couldn't agree more. And listen, his teammates right there with him too. Because he's been a disappointment, and that's the quarterback. That's why we're all hoping for better things, right? That's why we're all like, okay, come on, get better for us. Get better for us. Take care of the rock.
Based on the numbers, based on the production, based on the wins, based on how the team did before he got there.
God?
Sounds familiar. Can't put my finger on it.
Conscience?
Maybe.
Chrome?
Yeah, I mean, my biggest disappointment. I agree with you on Daniel Jones, but it has to be Dallas. They were not playing well prior to Dak getting hurt.
Mm-hmm.
You look at all of the weapons that are on that football team. I don't care who the quarterback is. What we're seeing from this football team is atrocious. And I don't think anybody foresaw, Zeke having such what would be a big down year for him.
Yep.
To have all those weapons in the passing game. And it's just, it doesn't matter who their quarterback is, but the team is just not very good. I mean, maybe not as much of a surprise, because I think a lot of us thought like Mike McCarthy was a guy who rode the coattails of Aaron Rodgers for a lot of years. But I mean, to me, to see what Dallas has become before and after Dak, it's been shocking to me, to say the least. I would say my biggest surprise. See, I'm not that surprised with what Miami is.
Crum, that's a great name, Dallas. Too much talent for that shit. Too much talent all over the. Yep, you're 100% right. Too much talent. Go ahead. Sorry, my bad. That's all I had to say.
No, you're right. To me, it's inexcusable. And Andy Dalton is a serviceable quarterback in this league, to where, again, when you have that much talent on your offensive side of the football, it's bad. And even on the defensive side, I mean, they have playmakers on the defensive side of the football, and they are giving up a lot of points right now. So my surprise is, I'm not really shocked. I'm not shocked with what Miami is doing. And you guys know, I felt really good. I think they finally have the head coach to turn this organization. And I felt like what we saw from them last year, late in the year, after they unloaded so much talent, really told me a lot about the coaching staff and the way that they play, the position that they put their players in. And they do have talent on that football team. They do have a number one wide receiver. They do have Mike Gesicki, who is a very good tight end. There's weapons there. What surprises me is, as well as they were playing with Fitzpatrick, I did expect the first 1, 2, or 3 games of maybe a little bit of a letdown when Tua started, just because it was such a weird time that they did do that transition. However, I feel like he's stepped in. He hasn't had to be a guy who's going to take over a game, but he's been very, very good. And to see what the other parts of that team, the other sides of the football, the defense and the special teams, have really stepped up and supported him, I'm surprised that they have not skipped a beat of anything in terms of the overall team. They've played even better now since Tua has been on the football field. So, yeah, I mean, I'm surprised. And another surprise is, as we know what New England was going to be coming in, we knew it wasn't going to be that. It wasn't going to be the New England of old. However, it's another organization that I look at and they're just not very good at all. Like, at all. I know they were missing a lot of guys. I thought Cam would make a little bit of a difference on that team, but man, it's the old adage, right? We always talk about when there's a system, is it the player, is the players in the system, or is it the coach? You could have a great system, but you still need to have the right personnel, and it's an organization that definitely misses Tom Brady, that's for sure. So New England, and just how bad they can really be at times, shocks me a little bit.
Yep, I agree. Let's see. Read off some of the comments here, because I know the fam chimed in with a bunch of theirs. Don Dunn said his biggest disappointment should be the Falcons. Yeah, especially because the talent they have on offense. Yeah, but their defense, and that we knew Dan Quinn that clock was ticking. He probably should have been fired last year. But no, I didn't expect them to blow like 3 huge leads in a row, even though it is the Falcons. Like, if you would have told me they would have done it twice in the season, I'm like, yeah, of course, duh. But like three back to back to back. Yeah.
To respond to Tom, one of Tom's surprises in Tannehill, what I will say is I'm not shocked that he's playing well because I think Ryan knows I've always felt like a change of scenery out of Miami. I don't think he was coached well in Miami.
And he fits that system. He fits the Tennessee system. Yeah. He is like I'm not like fam. I'm going to talk slow because I know people are going to go crazy with this. He is to Tennessee in a way of what Tom Brady was to New England, to where he fit the perfect role. I am not saying Tannehill is Brady. I am certainly saying the Titans aren't the Patriots. Thank you for your time. Go ahead.
Yeah, his skill set absolutely is so ideal for that system that they run. What is surprising to me, though, is the efficiency, the turnovers to INTs. That's where the surprise comes. For him to only have to have 20 touchdowns in a system with Derrick Henry there as well, where they run the football a lot. Sort of the surprise, but the fact that he's only turned the football or thrown 3 picks is surprising to me because that is one thing that I felt like we've seen a lot over the years. And good on him,
True. Let's see. Caden's mom says, "Hey guys, sorry I missed most of the chat. What are we talking about?" Well, we were talking Eagles-Giants preview earlier. Then we were doing Eagles over-unders. Now we're talking about the biggest surprises and disappointments so far throughout the NFL. Let's see. We also have Marquise saying biggest disappointment was Howie Roseman. Consistently puts unnecessary pressure on Wentz and Hurts misses on early picks and doesn't make the right moves in free agency. It's true. Lord Walker says biggest surprise is the demise of the Seattle defense. Night and day difference from the Legion of Boom. Marquise saying that the Miami Dolphins are the biggest shocker of all the NFL. Let's see. Marquise also saying, well, I thought and expected the Eagles. I expect the Eagles to beat up on the NFC East and win a lot of games. That's my biggest disappointment. Went straight up, hasn't played consistent for a fifth-year quarterback as an Eagles fan. No, you're true.
I think the surprise with Miami is that to me, they're a year ahead of where I thought they would be.
Their defense is way better than it should be. That's the thing. It's their defense that's really moving the needle.
Yeah, they are. To me, they're a year ahead, but I don't think that's an aberration. I think that they're going to continually sustain this growth that they're at. I just think they made the right moves this year to get that team to accelerate their process. And again, with the right coaching staff, that it seems like these guys really believe in them. And you do almost have a coach on your sidelines with Ryan Fitzpatrick, who might be the most perfect mentor that they could have ever asked for to have with Tua. To me, that's the surprise with Miami. It's not that they're good. I thought they would be good. I mean, I had to have, if I picked them to not just go to the playoffs, I picked them to win a playoff game. And I will say this, I stand by that. I think even more seeing how this team, they very well could win a playoff game. They looked very good against Arizona the other night.
And listen,
last week.
I'm not fully there yet, Chrome, but I'm not going to call you crazy just based off of this. We don't know how good Tua can be yet. Like if he's been efficient so far. The first game he really didn't have to do too much because Jared Goff was just playing like an idiot. So it was mostly a defensive game. But clearly he showed when he was going one-on-one with Kyler that he can do it. He can win shootouts. Yeah.
And listen, it wasn't even that, Ryan. That first game he played, he didn't have to do much because they had a receiving touchdown, a rushing touchdown, special teams touchdown, a defensive touchdown. Every side of the ball produced points on the scoreboard. They had turnovers. And that's what wins. He doesn't have to do too much. You're absolutely right. To see then when you have to go out there and make plays and sling it up against a guy like Kyler Murray and a very high-powered Arizona offense, that's impressive. That's key for growth for a young kid like that.
And, I will say if he's able over the next 8 games to somewhat replicate what Burrow and Herbert have done as far as ceiling, as far as really carrying a team when the defense isn't doing anything or having to go up against a legitimate contender, then they can do whatever they want. Now, I'm not saying Super Bowl, but we know that, hey, if Tua is what he was advertised to be and what they need him to be with that top 5 pick, we know the coach is good enough. We know the defense is good enough, and we know the weapons he has around him is good enough. And they're not even fully healthy. They don't even have Gaskin right now. They had to go to Jordan Howard. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if Breed is out for the year, but I know he's been out a lot. Like they're not even running at full strength. So I do believe that they are. I'll tell you what, they're a team that I definitely don't want to see if I'm in the first round. You know what I'm saying? They have a lot of the makings. I'll give you a perfect comparison. So when the number 1 seed New Orleans Saints, I believe it was in, I want to say 2011, when they went up against Seattle, and obviously Seattle, you saw what happened there. They were the last seed, they were the 6th seed, and they ended up beating the Saints. You know what I'm saying? To where they were just an underdog team. I definitely wouldn't want to see Miami if they continue going the way they've been going. This is a great question from go ahead. What were you going to say?
I was going to say Ted's name here is spot on. None of us really even mentioned Travis Fulgham's emergence. And I'll even beyond him, I'll also throw Jordan Mailata in because again, massive unknown. You know, it's a guy who really hasn't had a whole lot of he hasn't had football experience up until he was drafted. And I think for him and I know I make the jokes about Goat Mailata and stuff, but in actuality, to see him be able to come in and again, he looks like, is he going to be a Hall of Famer? Probably not. But we talked so much about how, in hindsight, how much we missed Vitae, and him with his flexibility, his ability to play multiple positions that he's been asked to do at this point, and to be able to do them effectively, well enough to where you're not hearing his name all the time. I think that's a huge thing. So if you come out this year and that's 2 guys that end up being a part of your core going forward, that's a big win for this team this year.
And you're spot on, Karim. I was saying the same thing a couple Wednesdays ago, and I was saying, you look at – no, it was last week on Friday, where I was saying Mailata is going to be one of two things for this football team. And you're spot on with Fulgham, by the way. I mean, and also I'll just add in there, of course, the guy that Howie Roseman doesn't draft, another team drafts, and the scouts pick up for the practice squad and they're forced to play him. Of course, that guy can play. But I digress with that. Happy to have him. Thanks, Howie, for looking the other way during that signing. Mailata, he's going to do one of two things. He's either A, and I think it's legitimate chance of it, because you're moving on from Peters. Christ, I'll move on from Peters now, to be honest, but we've got him because we had to pay him all that extra money. You're going to have Dillard and Mailata compete for that left tackle position next year, starting-wise. At the very least, say, for example, Dillard does his job, stays healthy, and is able to be what we need him to be. Mailata is at least Vitae. Yeah, that's that. So we found that. We found that with a rugby guy that we drafted in the 7th round 3 years ago.
Yeah.
So that, I will say, is a job well done from Howie Roseman in this organization.
Yeah, anywhere you balance a win. Especially when you don't draft it well. So, if you do draft late well, you get some guys off practice squads that can play, then so be it. But, he's got to do better early on. But still, we'll take him any way we can get him. And you're right, because we don't talk about Dillard. That's a first-round pick. Better be able to freaking play. You kidding me? Better be able to play. He can't play, then it's even more of a goddamn indictment. I'm tired of indictments. You know what I mean? I'm tired of indictments. I want production. Don, I'll say no right now because they've had so many quarterbacks that stink. Like, at least try to ride it out a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think they played bad this year. I don't think he's played that bad this year. So, our YouTube channel is A2D Radio. So, and where we're at, everywhere. A2D Radio. Who? You bring back, I've been hoping Eagles bring back Wisniewski? Is that what you're talking about?
Oh, Wiz. Yeah. He's available.
He's
available.
Wisniewski, yeah.
I want to say now that we're healthy, I want to say we don't need him, but sure. If Ciamalo
never
was
have
out
enough
for the year,
depth.
Next year we'll have Brandon Brooks back. So, we don't need,
Yeah. And Herbig's done a good enough job. Like, you're right. I mean, if it was as bad as it was 3 weeks ago, I would say yes, bring him in now, so we don't have to see Jamon Brown and
yes,
and all the other schlubs. Who's the other? Oh, Peta. That guy sucks.
Yeah.
But now having Ciamalo and Herbig and having Driscoll back, it's just so great. I mean, listen, it might only last 1 week, but it's so great having these. Like, I never thought I'd be happy to see Ciamalo and Driscoll. You know what I mean? Like who? You know what I'm saying? Like I'm like, oh, I feel like we need to have a parade. You know what I'm saying? Just because these guys are back.
For real. All right, boys. So you guys want to get to some picks against the spread?
Yes, sir.
I'm starting to see my breath out here. So,
oh, no, get the robe. Get the robe.
Go on. Been on. It's going right through, man. All right. We'll save Eagles Giants for last. Let me see what we got matchup wise here. We got a good one Sunday, 4:00. Bills at Cardinals. Arizona's given 2.5.
That's a good game. What time is that, Tom?
4:00.
That is a very good game. I'm going to go Arizona here.
Yeah, I'm going to go Arizona bounce back.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm thinking that Bills just find ways to win games. Give me the Bills. Give me the Bills. I'll go the opposite of you guys. Seahawks at Rams. The Rams giving Seattle 2 at home. Seattle's 2 giving 2.
Seattle by 14.
Seattle.
Rams always play them good. I don't know. I got the Rams a little upset here in a way.
They give me Seattle.
I might be. Listen, I'm still a hater on the Rams. I still don't buy in. I know they're 5-3. I get it. But I don't trust that quarterback, and I'm not saying I trust ours. So like anyone's like, oh, well, you trust Wentz? No. Listen. I know what our record is.
No, I mean we're talking about quarterback. When you talk about a quarterback that when the wheels fall off during a game, Jared Goff is as bad as it gets when the wheels fall off during a game.
And I hate to do this because I mean we hated when people did it to us in 2017, but listen, I'm going to do it because I can. The teams they beat were the NFC East teams and Chicago. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Like,
listen, I think they find a way to win a game. They got a good defense. You know, they seem to run the ball pretty well. And when all their guys are in, their offense can click a little bit. So, you know, I'll take them in that one. But I agree with everything you're saying. You guys are saying about it, for sure. Where's the other one I had? I had another good one. All right, we'll do this one. Ravens at Patriots. Baltimore giving New England 7.
I think this game's going to be a mess.
Yeah,
I think it's going to be. I think you might see 5 turnovers in this game, like just by the quarterbacks. I think you're going to have Cam Newton 3 turnovers, and I say Lamar Jackson 2 turnovers.
Give me.
I'm still going. Yeah, I'm with you, Tom. Go ahead.
No, that's all. Give me the Ravens.
Same.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with Baltimore still on this one. I think New England is.
Yeah, absolutely.
So they're just so bad. They're just not a good football team at all.
No.
Nope, not good at all. We seen that on Monday night. So last one on the docket. Eagles at Giants. Eagles are giving the Giants 4. Well, with my scoreboard, I obviously got the Eagles. So
yeah, same here. Birds all day.
I've got the Eagles by 10.
We'll do one for Don too. Washington at the Lions. The Lions are giving Washington 4.5.
Oh, Don, if you don't win this game, Don.
Well, Kenny Galladay is out, so that also factors into it.
They still got Jones and Hawkinson.
Yeah.
Well, my question: Alex Smith is in for Washington, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Give me Washington getting the 4.5.
Yeah. I'm with you. Agreed. Awesome. I absolutely agree.
Yep.
I think Washington 4.5 is that's a good number. I think they cover, and even if they don't, I don't think they lose by much. So I think it might end up being a tighter game than people expect.
Wow! Look at Lord! Wow! If that happens, Lord, Carolina. Oh, he says upset of the week: Carolina over Tampa Bay.
I mean, Carolina played well last week. They played very well last week.
Talk about panic down in Tampa Bay, almost losing to the Giants, getting blown out by the Saints, and then that. Whew.
Spence, you're right on, Spence. It does take the weight off them, having Alshon back, Miles back, Lane back, etc. It takes the weight off them big time. Big time. Wow. Right on. Don says Washington, we suck. Yeah,
wow, Don.
I'm not buying into Lord. I like where your head's at, but they just came off a bad loss. Bad losses for Brady usually turn into wins.
Yep.
The Panthers are tough, but give me the Bucks. Not the week you want to play them. That's just my opinion. Not the week you want to play Tampa.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So coming off a loss that sits with your bad taste in your mouth, probably, I don't know. I got to go with the GOAT until he proves me wrong there.
I agree.
And everybody has the Eagles, correct?
Yep.
All right, Monday nighter for fun. Vikings at Bears. Minnesota giving the Bears 3. They're playing bad football right now. Give me Minnesota. They're playing good football.
Dalvin Cook's the best player in the NFL right now. I'm going with Dalvin Cook again.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to say the Vikings. I'm just going to go with Dalvin Cook.
Elite.
It's so tough because you don't know what version of Kirk Cousins you're getting.
Is he elite?
Yeah, give me the Bears. What? You know what? Why not? Give me the Bears.
I'm with Jake. Give me the Bears.
Listen, until the Bears prove that they can put some wins together. I mean, they've gone south since they benched Mitchell, which says a lot.
Mhm.
Says a lot. You bench Mitchell and you've gone south. So
you might see. Listen, we might see Mitchell. We might.
Maybe.
I thought we would have seen him last week, but he was hurt.
the only time you see a quarterback sat after being like 3-0 or 4-0, crazy. So I'm going Vikings in this game just because I don't trust the Bears offense whatsoever.
Yep.
Whatsoever. I don't trust their offense. So to me, the Vikings are running the football extremely well right now. Second leading rusher in the NFL, right underneath the leading rusher in the NFL, which is Derrick Henry, which would be 2 years in a row. The NFL's leading rusher, and I don't care if he catches 12 balls a year. That's elite. When you're leading the league in something is elite.
Well, especially when your position, Tom, is a running back, right?
Mm-hmm.
If he was like fifth in the league in rushing, a different conversation. He leads the league in rushing again. That's elite. He's not like the middle of the pack. He's elite.
I was saying this to Chucks. I've said this to Chucks numerous times. Chrome, you've heard it at nauseum because you've always been right there when I've said this to Chucks. When a running back, and this is no disrespect to the quarterback that I'm going to mention, but it's true. When a running back allows the quarterback in 2 back-to-back playoff wins, one against the Patriots last year, the other against the Ravens last year, and Ryan Tannehill in a winning effort only had to complete 7 passes the first game and 7 passes the second game in those victories. What do you think is scoring for the team? Oh, an elite running back. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That's enough. That's enough. And that's just 2 games. I could go in a career sample size.
And Jake, you asked what Kirk Cousins are we going to get? Well, if history is any indication, he's 0 for 9. 0 and 9
games,
on Monday night games. So if you believe in that stuff.
You guys like that? You like that? Listen, I believe in it, but I also believe everything's come to an end. And this week,
Chrome, you just brought me back because I'm that guy. I say it every time, so I can't contradict myself now. I'm going Bears just because off that stat. Just because of that, I live by that stat. I live by it, so I have to continue doing it.
It's a great stat, but I just think he gets he finally gets one, so he'll get one because the Bears stink. Bears are atrocious too. You know what I mean? At least Minnesota's playing better football, not the crown them. But they're playing better football. The Bears flat out stink. Their defense is good. Their defense is good. Everything else about them stinks. Their offense is so bad. So bad. It's like inept. It's inept. They have no running game. They're not good enough. No shot. But there's always a shot because the NFL, and that's what makes it fun, guys.
Quick question down here. Looks like a new viewer. Says, just want to ask this. When is the last time we've seen a great offensive game from the Eagles where there are no turnovers, stress-free, everything seems easy, etc.? I think the Giants will beat them. Ooh.
2017.
Stop, Crum. Get out of my head. I was going to say, 2017 San Fran game this year was like one of them games where I thought we played well offensively. I thought that was probably our most complete game. So, I'm thinking this week. So, 34-17. This week we sort of put some things together. And it's time to put some things together.
I actually have I think the answer is last year against the Bills on the road. That's probably the bad. That's probably it.
No, that's a good one too. San Fran was clean. San Fran was clean. He didn't throw any interceptions. So
I don't want to say I couldn't say it was stress free though, because the way CJ Beathard was coming down the field, it was like Peyton Manning in his prime.
No, you're right.
Yeah.
I mean, like offensively, a complete game. You know what I mean? That's all I meant. Like with no turnovers. But no, then you talk about offensive complete game and a game that's a smooth sailing. It's a Jets game last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's the game that it was the biggest stress-free game of the year last year, and to date was the Jets one, because that was a roll job, right? So
I just think of, in terms of the way the question was asked, a stress-free game where we just felt like everything was just rolling. I don't think since 2017 I've had any game over the last 3 years that I thought stress-free. Something about that too. In 2017, the way that team played, and then on top of it, it wasn't all the chirping that we get about Carson Wentz and Nick Foles, and all this was before all that stuff was in existence. To where now you feel like every time you watch Carson, there's stress. It's not his fault, but just the fan base kind of put us into this, and the mainstream media backed us into this corner that I don't think I've watched an Eagles game where I didn't feel stressed for something or someone in a high-profile position since 2017.
no, it's fair. All right, boys. So what we're going to try to do here on Fridays too is we're going to do some cross promotion with the Sports Box guys. Get a guy in from them once in a while, and we're also going to try to get in for 10 minutes, 20 minutes, whatever, some guys from different cities that we're about to play against. So, we're going to go against the Browns, hypothetically. We're going to try to get, a big YouTuber from Cleveland that covers the Browns, or, somebody out there that's doing similar stuff to us that's covering the team, and try to get a guy on for a little different perspective of how they feel in that city. So something we want to try to add to you guys and deliver here on Fridays, which we think can be fun. So looking forward to it.
It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, and fam, if there's any YouTubers that you have in mind that you want us to try and get in contact with, let us know and let them know. You know what I'm saying?
Tag them, tell them to come on Friday nights, the week before games. We'll talk to anybody from anywhere. Let's go get it. Let's have at it. Let's have a little fun, little disagreement talk. It's good radio. It's what people want to listen to. Kumbaya's fun. I'll be Kumbaya when we're 17 and fucking out. All right. And then we're on Broad again. That's when Kumbaya happens. Kumbaya happens when you're on Broad together. All the things you disagreed with throughout the years doesn't matter anymore, right? We all witnessed it in 2017. Our disagreements, chip-wise, etc., all went away, right? It all just said, "Oh, I don't care what you thought," right? It was a hug. It was hug fest. So, tons of new shows, David. Tons of new shows. All right, we added ATD After Dark Tuesday nights with the ladies, 8:30 and 9:30. You see me and Chrome in there. We're hosting for the ladies. A little different feel. Wednesday night we got Card Knocks. Okay, 7 to about 8:30. Right? They teach you how to buy and sell cards. They teach you how to make some money, investments. Right? Their poll question this week was a card market a better investment than the stock market? Agree or disagree? Or a statement and then agree or disagree. So they're there to make you a couple bucks. So tune in for them. And then Saturday we have Kep's Corner starting this Saturday. Tomorrow night, 7:00. Streaming. He'll be streaming Madden simulation of Eagles Giants, and taking people's comments for play calls, etc. So it's gonna be fun on what you guys would do, the family, to beat the Giants on Sunday. So a little different perspective there, and then obviously our full line of shows every day, every night. You know where we're all at. Like, subscribe, follow, download if you're on the podcast forum, because we're there everywhere. All right, peeps, we love you. Can't thank every one of you guys enough for tuning in as much, and the comments, and to keep the conversation going. We love you. For Tom Arnone, Ryan Brodo, Jake Friel, Michael Chromiak, the fam out there, you guys are the best. You guys are the best.